All right.
Yes.
That's right, baby. We are back. And back on a Saturday to hang out, talk toys, and whatever else comes up. Here with my good buddy Ryan. Ryan, what's up?
What's up, dude?
Just chilling. How's your week been?
Pretty good. It's been a roller coaster of emotion. We got some special guests. I can't wait to talk to them. Also, Eagles, Eagles.
Oh, thank you for saying that. I am a big Eagles fan. You know what? I totally forgot that was even going on right now and that they had made the Super Bowl. But thank you for bringing it up. It wasn't even on my mind at all. So you'll notice that it is just me and Ryan right now. And that is because our good buddy Eric Late Night LeBron can't make it because he is at a really big, cool muscle car show with his dad that they go to every year. So Late Night, we miss you. We're going to have fun in your absence. And we do have some really cool guests that we want to bring out.
Excited.
Old friends and new. First of all.
Nope. Not coming on. Take that chicken off.
We have the disembodied voice of Trevor 16-shooter Williams. How you doing, disembodied voice?
Yeah, I'm great.
I see the excitement.
Good. I'm good. How are you guys?
I don't get it. What's wrong? What's the problem?
Nothing.
What's happening?
Nothing.
All right. For those that don't understand the joke,
just another Super Bowl that I don't care about. So that's fun.
Trevor's a big Dallas Cowboys fan. You know, there's a huge Dallas Cowboy contingent on Long Island. That's what we all know. No.
Yeah, all three of us.
Seriously, what's up, man? Thanks for joining.
Yeah, no, I'm glad to be here.
Cool.
Looking forward to it.
Also, unannounced guest.
Like your background.
Your friend and mine. Bill Junowski from the Door Claire. What's up, Bill?
What's up, guys?
What's happening? How's your Saturday going?
It's going well. I cranked out a video this morning, and then after this, I will be going to my daughter's acting performance, and so solid day.
Nice.
Awesome, dude. Congrats. What's the play or the performance if you can say?
It's something I forget what it is. I'm not familiar with it. Last time they did Willy Wonka, it was really cool, but this one I don't really know what it is. It might be like something they wrote themselves, or I'm not sure.
Cool.
But it'll be cool.
Yeah, we had a last night. Chase, my son Chase, who does Taekwondo, they had like an in-studio forms routine tournament, and that we all went to support him, and his team for the first time won. So they won like the cup or whatever. So
nice.
Inside the studio, so that's cool. My daughter also found out she went to an audition for some type of New York ballet something, and she found out this week that they accepted her for this program in the summertime. I understand that what that means is that we've won the chance to pay them money for a program in the summertime.
Right.
So,
congratulations.
Yes. So, all right, we do have one more.
Sorry for your loss of figures.
Well, as you'll see in a little bit, those two things have not been mutually exclusive yet. So, but we're right about there. Super chat from Curtis Ackerman, $1.99. Here's hoping Charlotte Flair wins the Rumble. Now, I'm a big wrestling fan. I'll be watching the Royal Rumble later. I don't think Trevor cares at all. I don't think Bill cares at all. And Ryan, who used to be a wrestling fan, doesn't really follow it up as much anymore, right?
Is Charlotte Flair related to Ric Flair?
That's his daughter. Yeah, that's his daughter.
Oh,
wow.
Cool.
Pulled that out of my...
So Get ready, 2 hours of wrestling talk, guys. Here we go.
Oh, look at the time. Boy, the Eagles and now wrestling. I picked a good day.
One more special guest I'd like to bring out for the first time on Saturday Day Live. Adam Van Wickler playing with myself. What's going on, man?
What up, guys? How's it going? Here to promote a little bit Cursed Dead. You know?
The plug.
Final hours.
We have the Damian Blake with the logos there. Treat Yo Shelf.
Yeah, I gotta add one of those actually. Yeah,
dude, the one with the blood splatter is nuts. I saw
that's the winner. He did multiples, obviously.
Yeah.
Black font, white font, and everyone's favorite, the blood
bloody.
splatter.
Yeah, that one's badass.
All three available as add-ons.
Yeah, I forget which show that you were on when you kind of opened that live, and as you were going through them, and I love his stuff anyway.
That was us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right over here.
And as you're going through them, we got to the last one, and he's like, "Open this one last," and I was like, "That's the badass one right there. That one's gonna sell people just with that one sign."
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
So,
He does awesome work.
we got a lot to get to. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Cursed Dead. People are congratulating you left and right because it has now funded. Today is the last day, Saturday, February 1st. If you're watching us live, if you're not, you might have missed your chance. So go back.
I will. Jonathan, I'm sorry. I'm interrupting you because
Yeah,
I am
do
going to
it.
tell you that it's the last chance to back the Kickstarter campaign at the campaign prices. Kickstarter has like a newer feature that I turned on. It's called late pledging, and late pledging is available, but it does increase the price on so everything will be available, but the price goes up a few bucks. It's like a Kickstarter new thing. I clicked it on. Even with the slight price increase, it will still be it'll be less than Big Bad Toy Store. But if you want to lock in the lowest prices, back it now before 6 p.m. Pacific time, because that is the lowest prices that you can get.
I'm trying to get your numbers up, Adam.
I'm sorry. I know. I'm eating into the own thing, and that's how I roll.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but can you? I mean, I don't know. Is there a minimum that you have to put in order to be able to order more in the backer kit? Are you doing backer kit, or it's part of Kickstarter now, right? Or I don't
because Kickstarter has now kind of incorporated a lot of like what's usually in backer kit directly into Kickstarter. So we might avoid doing a backer kit and just keep this late pledge open until we have to put in all of our final order quantity. So
there is no post ending of the Kickstarter ability to add more to your order at this point with Kickstarter, or
you do it directly through the Kickstarter, whether that's through late pledges or you, do it prior to the Kickstarter
to
ending.
Paying.
You want the best prices, but late pledges will allow you to add on more after the fact, but it will be like a few, like under $5 on everything. But yes, it is like slightly tacked up. Like, I don't know. It's whatever Kickstarter recommended, because it's like I said, it's a new feature. So I was like, we'll try it. Let's see how it goes.
Even at the higher price point, these figures are worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, it's probably going to kickstart some people to get off their butts and do it, because that was an option. It was kind of you could back one figure and then like, hey, backer kit, I'll add like 3 more. You know what I mean? So
and all of that, like everything, like the late pledges. Big Bad Toy Store is still taking pre-orders and has gotten more since they contributed to the campaign. So all of that is going to go towards our unlocks. And I was just talking with these guys backstage, and I might as well just go ahead and say it. The Mangler is going to happen. We're going to make it's my favorite one. We're going to make sure the Mangler happens across the board. Phil, I hope that the reason why he's not here right now is because he's working on our second stretch goal. He did start it, and it was looking really cool. It is a demon, and it's a anthropomorphic kind of demon. And it's coming along. It's creepy as hell, and I do want to show that at some point. So yeah.
No shit.
Trevor has some prototypes in hand. Look at that.
Oh man,
I love the fur, man. The fur looks great.
It's gross, right? It's like a little bit like
it is. I was a little worried, like somebody had done something to it. But,
we did.
Yeah.
Trevor, we did a show. You put moose in your toy's hair. So
of course, yes, I know. No, it's cool. It's cool. It's got a good feel to it. Yeah, it actually feels kind of old and, like it's dirty. Like they're They're
Worn, distressed.
worn. They're worn
Yeah.
figures. You know, they look. You know, they look worn. He's cool though, man. I love his face.
Yeah, he's not.
I love these limbs. These limbs are going to be great, man.
Yeah.
Killer.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people talking about early on. I was like, they're so skinny. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point, man. They're like really cool, sinewy and thin, and like they're very, vampiric and
If you
demonic.
want thicker monsters, then stay tuned for Wave 2 and Wave 3.
Right.
And we do have another guest backstage. Boom! Welcome to the stage.
There
Guys,
he
how you
is.
doing? Can you hear me?
What's going
We
on, man?
can.
Welcome.
We can't hear you and see you.
Thank you for having us, guys. This is awesome. What's up, Adam? How you doing?
Hi.
Jesse Falcon, welcome to Saturday Day Live. An exciting day for all of us today.
It's
a little
crazy
fun.
great. I'm so excited for the Cursed Dead guys, and I'm just really excited to see what they're going to do next.
Well,
Trevor was just showing off the Wendigo.
Here's a
Yeah,
cool thing. This is a custom sculpt, but it's about the size of a regular Mythic Legion bald figure, and that fits pretty well.
Oh, snap.
Nice.
how freaking cool is that?
Cool bonus right there. But yeah, there he is.
Crossover appeal, guys. That's the
Jesus.
idea.
Come on, John.
And
it together.
Phil and I have already made it a point that we're going to go to Legions Con this year, whether it's just as fans or we try to get a table. But I've always been a
Good
big
luck.
Mythic Legions fan anyway. I have
There we go.
probably about at least a dozen, if not higher double digits figures. But with the added double joints coming in the new waves, as an articulation junkie. My wallet is screwed. Here we go.
Well, it's funny you
When
should
is
mention
Legion?
sorry,
When is Legions Con?
November.
every November in New Jersey.
November, was it 9th this year?
Yeah, usually like very early November, first or second week in November. And it's just gotten bigger and bigger,
Right.
every year. It's insane. Like, and then this past year was really cool because there were so many people I feel like that had never been before. Like, Robo was there. We got to like show our little Legions world to a lot of people who know what they're talking about when it comes to conventions and toys and all of this stuff. And everybody I talked to afterwards was just blown away.
It
So,
looks like an awesome time.
Yep.
Adam mentioned
biggest-
this. Adam mentioned this already, so I figured I would bring it up. This guy's a stretch goal right now. The Mangler. When I saw this the other day, I freaked out, Adam.
Yeah, good. This is my favorite. I mean, like you can really see the sculpted details that like Phil put into our base body, like what he was intending. He's explained it on some of the streams where it's like he wanted it to be able to work for different types of creatures and monsters with different paint jobs, but it's like you could really tell that we're big fans of the creature from the Black Lagoon, and it's like no, this is meant to work really well for this. He's got the new head, which is at least 2 pieces because he's got an articulated jaw, so the mouth will open and close.
Sweet.
He also might have a separate fin that kind of goes down his back a little bit. We're still working that out, but then the new webbed hands and feet. But he'll also come with the standard creature 3 sets of hands and then the regular creature feet and the skull head with an articulated jaw as well. So you can make like a creepy skull zombie bright green guy too if you wanted to. I don't think anyone's going to do that. I think most people are going to keep it as the Mangler, but yeah, I'll let them decide.
Pretty
I think
awesome,
as
man.
much of a fan of Creature from the Black Lagoon that Phil is, he's more of a fan of Humanoids from the Deep.
Yeah.
If y'all remember that movie.
Oh yeah.
It's way gnarlier. I think
Yeah.
James Cameron worked on it in some capacity.
It's funny.
Yeah.
You were talking before about like the lanky bodies and everything. To me, that absolutely lends itself to some of like the creepier nature of some of these guys. And I saw the first time I saw some of the Cursed Dead characters, I'm like, I need a couple of these for my Halloween display that I put up every year. And I'm thinking about mixing some of these guys with like the Mask of the Red Death Figura Obscura figure. I've seen some pretty gnarly customs with like the Aya, the Greyborn alien lanky body figure that I think would mix very well with it. So I think there's so many cool possibilities here, man.
Absolutely. That is the idea. We want to play well with others.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll get back to it again later. But just as a reminder, the Kickstarter Cursed Dead has funded, so it is happening for anybody just checking in now. You can still make your pledge directly at the Kickstarter initial prices from now until 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific time, right?
Math.
Math, right? See, that's why I'm doing toy videos. I don't want to do math. That's if you just do toy videos, you can do that. If you actually make toys, I think you have to do math. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. But these are the best prices you're going to get. So you have a little under 6 hours to do it. So go back right now. Don't wait. So, all right, guys, we got a lot to get to. We're going to talk some current events. Anything that comes up, just hop in. But a couple things we wanted to talk about, including the Mythic Legions book, another big pre-order that's ending this weekend. We're going to get into a little bit. First up, the week that was, Four Horsemen did put out an update this week on all of the pre-orders that are coming in. Bill on his channel, A Dork Lair, did a video a couple of weeks ago talking about how we're just going to get absolutely bombarded with figures from Four Horsemen Studios this year. First of all, the in-stock sale, which happened earlier this month, shipping is complete. So all of those figures are on their way to all the people who ordered them.
And it's worth noting that they gave a 4-week estimate and they were able to do it within 3 weeks. I think that's like notable.
Yeah, and you see sometimes people ask on the internet, like, oh, I haven't received my in-stock sale order yet. Should I be worried? Blah, 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 blah. They're pretty good with their estimates once they've got something in stock specifically as to how quickly they can get things out. So there you go. They beat the estimate by, almost a week. I got mine just this past week. Pretty happy about it. Did you adhere to your toy diet, Bill, that you were doing this year when it comes to the in-stock sale?
Yeah, I didn't buy much on the in-stock. So I got I grabbed a Snag and a Ninian initially.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided, you know what? If those Ninians make it to the next day, I'd grab a couple more. So I grabbed, what did I grab? I grabbed 4 more, I think. That way I have a few extras. Like, they're great for giveaways, stuff like that. Because stuff that's like sold out is really good for giveaways,
Mm-hmm.
So I grabbed a few more of those. But yeah, I originally at like before Legions Con, right? Like I was all in on the Knights. I was going to get the all in. And then after the Dragon was announced, I really shifted gears on that. It's 450 that I could put towards a Dragon. So maybe I'll dip my toes in and grab 1 or 2 here and there, over the course of the next few weeks or months or however long they last. But still, yeah, I did pretty good with the toy diet.
Yeah, not so bad. But for anybody still interested, the in-stock sale is over, but there's still plenty of figures on storehorseman.com that are still in stock and ready to ship, Legions builders and things like that. So it's a whole new world we live in these days. Also, the massive Necronominus wave, the containers are in the port. So this was the wave that went up for pre-order a couple of years ago. What was that? 22, I think, that went up for pre-order. This is going to be just an absolutely massive wave, wall-to-wall skeletons. I'm so excited about it.
I had to log into my account to make sure. I was like, what did I order from that way? I forgot. It's been so long, but
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You know, it's funny. I still have some work to do when it comes to the Necronominous wave, because the big end of the year G-Con reveals that the Four Horsemen Studios do every year. It's kind of like their big wave of the year. It always comes at the end of the year, after Legion's Con. It's right around the holidays. So I've done a couple of all-ins, but sometimes I just kind of pick and choose because you don't want to like go nuts after spending money on a convention that you stay at for like 4 days and then the holidays and all that stuff. From Necronominous, if I remember correctly, I got a Necronominous 2-pack, a separate Necronominous, the Undead Builder pack, and Bella Lulith, and I think that's it. Which means I'm still gonna have some work to do when the figures come in from the retailers and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, anybody else looking to fill in here and there with some Necronominous when it comes in?
When I
much
heard
coming.
you say, talk about the week that was, I thought we were going to talk about that mermaid who tried to get eaten by a goblin shark in a tank.
Oh, I saw that.
I did not see that.
That was what was that? Was that a shark? I thought that was like a big.
It's not really one of those sharks that like you watch out for. It's kind of like a bottom feeder, like a sucker fish, but like
okay. Yeah.
And I think he was just like, sharks have these little devices all over their noses called the ampule de Lorenzini, and they're little nodes filled with oil that detect electromagnetic movement in the water. Sorry, I'm taking us down a weird path here, but like I really did think
I saw that video though.
Mermaid trying to get gobbled up by a goblin shark. He probably just like detected electromagnetic movement. He's like, oh, there's some food, and their mouths kind of come out. It's a fascinating video if you haven't seen it. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to take us into this.
It was cool though. Go look it up if you can find it.
With the mangler and the
I didn't. Yes, I thought that's yeah. It was a light Cursed Dead promotion that happened.
It's on target. It's on target. Yeah.
One thing I will say
there
about
it is.
the announcement.
Oh.
See, somebody had said it was like
okay.
a tuna or something. Like I'm like, that's not a tuna. But
poor lady.
the little kids must have been like just terrified.
Yeah, this poor lady's just trying to like, oh man, I get to be a mermaid.
Oh.
Yep, that's enough. And he's like, wow, that doesn't fit in my mouth.
That'll stop you from holding your breath for a second.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, I was gonna say, I will say, like, I feel like I don't need the little updates when it comes to the shipping, because like the import thing, I'm like, I kind of wish they were like, all right, it's here all of a sudden, and then we were surprised.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, like that one little step, just ignore that. I don't know that I need to know that. Just wait till it's there. After it's like on the water, just wait till it's
it's on the water and now it's in the exactly. Yeah.
But I respect how open they are, and they're just trying to like make sure that they give everybody as much information as possible. Yeah. So totally.
But then you're always calculating as to how long it would take to get from California to. Or again, maybe they're in Baltimore. Where would they come in? They'd probably come in California, right?
And that's again, I don't even care. It's like when it gets here, it gets here. Yeah. But
well, they're allocating right there. They're taking into account the whiny baby factor, because people are generally whiny, complaining babies. And there's not really anything you can do. You can do a made to order pre-order. So you can order whatever you want, and whatever you want, if you order it, you will definitely get it at the best prices you can possibly get it. But because we have to know how many people are ordering before it goes to the factory, you're going to have to wait a little bit. And people complain about that. Or when they do a surprise in-stock drop and say, okay, here you go, you order it, you're going to get it within a couple of weeks at the most. People complain about that too.
I don't have money.
Right, because it sells out.
You do this?
Yeah, it's sold out.
I don't get paid till next week.
Enough?
Wait a second. Toy fans complain about things?
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard about this, Adam. I know you guys don't talk about that much on Toy Migos or anything like that. But
I am about 3 weeks away from my follow-up visit for my finger injury. And that's like ideal for me. Like it would be like comes after that, because like right now I can't really manipulate.
Can't open anything sharp and pointy.
I can't like grip. I can't grip. And so doing pop and swaps, which is like a big part of my video reviews, like it's like I can't really do that stuff right now. And
Bill,
so if I can get
back
to
kids.
where
You have kids.
yeah, right. Get my daughter to, I should, honestly.
Really? You got to go sit through like a high school Uncle Vanya or whatever you're doing there. So like, get her to put her to work.
No, heat the hole, not the peg. What are you doing?
You're ruining everything.
So that's it. A bunch of updates. There's a bunch of stuff coming. Graveyard Skeletons are on the water. They're going to be here soon. I was actually glad to hear that All Stars 6. I wasn't sure how quickly that was going to be in behind Necronominus, because I know they were closely sort of tied together. That's in production, so that's going to be sort of later in the year, and that's okay with me because I've already been getting battered with stuff arriving on my doorstep.
Yep.
Also, another quick shout out to our buddy Len LaGuardia and Wolf King Toys, wolfkingtoys.com. They're doing this new cool program this year where they're having Emil Wickman, talented artist in the community, design a new 3D head, one a month. And essentially what's going on is Len is challenging him with like a Legions figure. And then Emil comes up with like the character and the head and sculpts it. And then they release it on the Wolf King Toys website, one per month. So there'll be 12 for the year. This is the first one that is on Wolf King Toys right now, wolfkingtoys.com. The Dragon Rogue. Cool thing is that these 3D parts now are just going to be on the Wolf King Toys site and in the library. But Len is also doing the Len Wolf King thing, and he's doing some bundles that are going to be a little bit more limited. They're not going to always be up on the site. And this one is the Dubon figure, coming packaged with the Dragon Rogue head at a really good price. What do you guys think?
That looks cool. This is a great idea. I love
Really
the idea.
nice.
Yeah.
Len is in the house. What's up, Len?
Hey, Len.
What's going on, man?
I just rewatched you. I forgot you were on live yesterday, so I rewatched you this morning.
Van checks in and says, please hit the like button so Trevor knows where he's at.
Go away, Van.
So are you so I hear Purple Gang Gang tonight on the Purple Gang Gang YouTube channel. It's right
Oh
down
yeah, no, I canceled that. I had my agent call.
No,
That's not happening. Nah. Too much they're ageist over there, man. I'm not going there.
Wasn't it labeled the Boomer Battle or something like that?
Yeah, I'm Gen X. I told
so
you.
if you're not going to show up,
Show
are they
up.
going to take that down off DraftKings? Because I was betting on you all the way.
yeah, I guess so.
All right.
Speaking of this, though, like you guys, I could see you guys, Kirstead, like encouraging this kind of stuff. Don't you think? I could see people doing like alternate heads and sculpting some
Jesse
stuff.
actually has this awesome idea that he gave to Phil, Josh, and myself that we'd really like to do. I don't know if I want to just out it right here, but it's
maybe not.
Okay, then I will.
Okay.
Go ahead, do it.
We were at a car wash down the street in LA. You need to get your car washed all the time if you guys
Like you
don't
do.
live on the West Coast. Like you do.
Only in
and
LA.
It was but like if you're living in Michigan, where I grew up, you don't wash your car in the winter. It's just like it's pointless.
I don't wash my car.
Washes where you put it in, and the guys come out and they drive it through, and then there's 30 minutes of like guys looking at you going, "Are you doing a good job?" So they have things where you walk through this thing and they sell you stuff. And there was like a whole rack of those quarter spin and dial gumballs, and like some of them have they're almost like gashapon, right? We all know what gashapon are, right? Like, I'm Gen X. I go to the grocery store. Mom, can I have a quarter? Or I'd have a couple that I'd have, and I would go get like a sticker or some kind of
the muscle guys. The muscle guys were in there. That's great.
I love it. Great memories. My thought was, we'll get a couple of those. We'll slap them on top of a table at a con, and we'll have to customize a bunch of heads.
Dude, that's a great idea. I actually love that.
And
I actually love that.
Like gamify it in a way that is like, I feel like that look, we're all of a certain age, and I love the idea of like trying to evangelize this hobby to younger people for its health. And that's a lot.
Yeah. I was thinking about that today. Somebody was talking about how, if we don't get the kids into it, the hobby will die. And like, I'm not certain that's true. Like, because there's always somebody like a year or two younger that's like getting it. Like, there's always, does it have to be the children right now that get into it? Or could it be just like, there's always like a group of people who's like a year or
Yeah.
two younger
There's
than
waves,
us that are always
right?
there's
Yeah.
people just always getting into it at all different ages. Like
I'm definitely working on it. My son is out on the couch in the living room right now watching One Piece, and he has
nice.
a tote bag of my SHF One Piece figures on the table next to him, and like he'll pull
Lucky.
them out and mess with them as he's watching, and I'm like, that's gateway.
My
Let's
my
do
daughter
this.
likes to. She's not into my figures necessarily. She has her own stuff like her LOL dolls and her
Those have little wieners.
calicos. Do they?
Have you ever like you haven't? Okay, I
haven't. I don't know.
Yeah, sorry, I've looked. They have
That's
like
funny.
little. Yeah,
You
I was like,
guys,
what?
Jesus, good Lord. You too, Len?
Poor Trevor. Why?
But
Trevor just comes on
anyway,
these shows and just takes abuse for no
I
reason.
outlast all these motherfuckers, man. Like, you know, they're going to bed at 8 o'clock and
Uncle
can't
Trev.
drink and give me a break.
You know who Trevor is? Trevor is Unk. Trevor is Unk, right?
Oh, know who am I, Adam?
Oh, you're the bad bitch.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't realize this was a doo-doo language podcast.
Oh, yeah.
You say whatever you want. Yeah. I even clicked that this is not made for kids. That's why
I was going to say, you guys probably have, you know, stats to this effect, but I would say, like, what you're talking about, Bill, like, you know, could be like 15, 16-year-olds right now that in 5 years are looking back on their childhood and suddenly going back and picking up some figures that, you know, they may have, you know, been watching anime or something like that right now that they're not picking up figures for, but it's all nostalgia.
or they get
It's gotta
into
come in waves.
into stuff later, right? Like later
Yeah,
in life,
or
they
later.
get into Lord
Yeah,
of the Rings,
20s,
or they get
30s,
into
sure.
Star Wars or whatever thing
Yep.
it is, or some
Mhm.
new thing down the road, and then eventually they're You know, I think the idea is like collectors are going to always be there. Right? The one question is, will action figures always be there?
Yes,
but
they
yeah,
will.
like I said, my daughter has her figures, and she's not really into my stuff, but she's into it when it's time to do some painting. When it's like customizing and painting figures, she's down with it. So that side of it, I think, is a good one too to get kids in, is the craft
Yeah.
side of it.
When I have time to myself, the only thing I find myself watching is historical documentaries, you know, like about like the Roman Empire, you know, antiquity, prehistory. And, you know, whenever they're on these digs, they always find, you know, little tiny statues, little tiny figurines. It is a thing we've been doing for thousands of years. I don't think that part of it's going to change. And I've always said this about the Cursed Dead when we've been on this press tour, is like, the one thing I love about all the stuff that you guys have been talking about today, and what's really cool about this industry and this hobby, I love all of the, you know, 12 properties that are out there, you know, the big ones, you know, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Star Trek, on and on. And you guys know them. There's maybe 20, you know, but like they kind of get rehashed, re-envisioned, and that's great. I love that. But like what I love about the Cursed Dead, about Mythic Legions, you know, about Valaverse, is that somebody's like, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to do my own take. You know, like I love indie comic books. I love graphic novels that are just like a one and done story, or like a weird indie movie like A24, you know, like cool ideas. That is my jam. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. I think humanity loves to entertain itself, loves to tell stories. And in a lot of ways, Mythic Legions and thereby Cursed Dead is really, it's about execution toys and all that stuff, but it's also about storytelling and what these characters stand for and what they are.
Yeah, discovering something new like that, like a new comic book or a great graphic novel or something like that, that somebody's told you about, it's exciting, man. Like that's what
magic.
I love.
Like when you hear a great new song you've never heard before, like that's why we're here, you know, to experience that joy.
Yeah, and I do think some of that is a little over. Like I understand where it comes from. That people have said that, listen, after this generation, it's the whole action figure thing, collecting. It's gone. It's going the way of the dodo. I think it changes. It might not come back exactly the same way that we experienced it. Like my son is 13 now, and he might never have been into action figures like I was, sort of at his age. But it's still there. There's something about the tactile, the imagination, and it does also matter who they're around. Like he's around me, and I have a basement full of toys. So like, for example, when I took him to go see Transformers 1, without me saying anything or doing anything, he packed to go, and he packed up a bunch of his Transformers, and then we're sitting in the theater waiting for the movie to get going. And he's setting up his Transformers on his little tray at his seat. He's taking pictures of them, and I'm like there with a tear in my eye. My son.
That's awesome.
That's my son.
That's great.
So, and plus, I think the hobby will be fine as long as we have more people like this.
Boom, enabled.
Stop encouraging him. Whoever's
That's
clicking
our
this.
good buddy Dylan. He's like Ryan. How old is Dylan? Like 12? He's like 11 or 12 years old,
14 at least, right?
right? At least 14. Yeah.
I think
Can I,
he's actually 26.
is he actually 26? Holy shit, Dylan, are you here? How old are you?
He gives us hope that the next generation is gonna be in.
And
That's what
Dylan
I'm saying.
is.
It's like there's people like that all the time hopping in on figures, even if they don't have
Yeah.
the same nostalgia. And nostalgia is a weird thing too. Like there's no gaps anymore, right? Like we
Yeah.
had these gaps of like dark time between like childhood. Like Star Wars had this big gap, and there was no internet to like have this through line where it's always there. Like, so that's just going to change too. Like there's going to be no gap to have nostalgia, right?
Yeah. But like Jesse said, like we've always been collecting, like we love ourselves. Humans love ourselves, and to have like miniature versions, you know, of ourselves or other people that we admire or like or enjoy. It's always gonna be there in some form.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we solved another problem. Good job,
There
guys.
you go.
All right. It's been a great show. All right. what else
By the
is-
way, this
Channel
is so
down.
cool that they're doing like a design, like kind of like a rap battle, lack of a better way to talk about. That's really cool. I'm sorry. That
Oh,
one
yeah.
Once
The
Kind of
challenge.
yeah.
Yeah.
I love
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's great. Sorry, I know you guys are trying to move on. I'm giving kudos to those folks for like
No, it's
making art and making art a priority.
No, this is here's the thing.
Yeah.
This is just here to fill the gaps. I've noticed sometimes I try to when I go through the slideshow, sometimes my favorite part of the show is that when we finish the slideshow and we're just sitting around talking out, it's like all the pressure is off, right? I've gone through the slideshow now, and now we can just talk. So,
I did have a little bit of news.
okay.
Let me find it.
You're already married, so
My
the
computer doesn't
drama
work.
builds. This better be good now, Ryan. You know that, right?
Yeah, Jesus. It wasn't slow enough.
Is it a turtle?
There's
How much time do you need? Do you need
Well,
11
while we wait
seconds
for
or 28
Ryan.
seconds?
It's
While we
processing.
wait for Ryan. There's a
So
oh, there you go. Okay.
the Bandito is actually going into production. I don't know if anybody's
Okay.
familiar with that. I know Dave Vonner is a part of the project now,
Mm-hmm.
and so
It's
there's
been
all
hanging
that.
around for a while, right?
Yeah, it's finally going into production. I'm excited.
Hey, that's Mike's shot. Nice shot. Mike.
Yeah, this is a great shot. I figured I'd throw that up there to show the interior of that.
It's cool. Nice.
All right,
What's the price
big
on that?
build-up
Do we know the
for-
price on that?
The floor of my toy room is turning into a garage over here.
Yeah, mine
The
too.
McFarlane 89 Batmobile. I have the Tomy DeLorean. I have my Dragonfly, my Hiss tank. Like it's like,
Yep.
it's literally, I'm like parking garage over here.
I'm at freaking max capacity now.
Dinosaurs now.
Yeah. What are these even? What are these dinosaurs even? What didn't wasn't Dylan showing these last week?
I think he was
I
showing.
don't know. This is
I think that's a different brand.
the Hammond collection one. I don't know. I just had they had a sale on Target or something like that for it, and I don't have any of these things. I generally don't pick them up because I don't have the room to store them. But I kind of want a dinosaur for some Conan or Mythic Legion stuff.
And that's
so.
who did that one?
That's the Mattel.
This is Mattel.
Yeah,
yeah.
My literally like I am surrounded. I've got two Brontosaurus over here. I've got this guy right next to me, Smiley.
Oh, nice. I love that one.
Big T-Rex. My kids come in here and they shove action figures down the T-Rex and then he barfs them out his butt. Nothing makes children more pleased
Barfs out his butt.
than that play pattern.
Mhm,
Open up,
mhm, mhm.
gobble, poop. It's never going to get old.
Nope.
It's
That's
a
forever.
formula that works forever, I think.
That's forever. Yep.
Yeah, to that point, Adam. I'm at max capacity now. Like for a while, I was justifying some of like the HasLab stuff. Like I'm like, well, Galactus, it kind of doesn't matter how big he is because he can just stand around. Like anywhere you stand, he can just like stand off to the side. And vehicles, I figured they can go like under a table or over there somewhere. But when you're developing like a fleet, it's at some point like I haven't even opened my Robo Skull over there. I never opened my his tank.
Freaking giant man is under my computer desk right here.
What is he doing under there?
Yeah, I don't know. He's down
Burning
in
his
between
tank.
my legs.
Exactly.
Standing. It's very weird.
Very.
I'm like, I don't know where to put it.
So, all right.
I love how Adam is casually patting himself on the back and saying giant man is between his legs, as if
You're right. Buddy, be a little
Jesse,
bigger in
I'm not
proportion to
talking
you
smack
too. But
because you know that my day job at Gentle Giant Studios, we digitally prototyped that giant man. So I do love it. I just don't have any place to put these things.
Yeah.
It sounds like you
I got
do
the
have a place
ghost
for him.
still in a box.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah,
knows?
the ghost is. I don't even know what I would do with the ghost.
Yeah, I don't
Thing's
know what I'm
huge.
going to do with it either.
That thing's massive.
Yeah, because I think I'd want to have it like on a table or something with like the top off, so you could like see inside of it. But
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
right
what I
now,
was
my
thinking.
thunder tank is under my USS Flag over there that has a Sky Striker on top of it, running at a
I
room.
have the Hasbro BMF is hanging with fishing wire like right above my computer desk, and like look, it's been there
That
for
sounds like a
2 years now.
safe.
Yeah.
It's I got like I went online and I got like the, you know, it's some ridiculous weight, like high tensile fishing line, you know, I get probably for fishing for sharks or something. So it seems to be holding it steady. And my intention
mermaids.
with the Dragonfly was to do the same thing, but there's a ceiling fan in here, and I'm like, I don't even have enough ceiling space for this. And like that's the
Hang
Toby
it from the
DeLorean.
ceiling
I was like,
fan.
oh, I'll make
That's
that
when you
happen.
know you're.
So that-
That's when you know you're out of space. Is
Yeah.
you have no more ceiling space.
But you just hang the propellers, and so as
Yeah.
it spins, the propellers spin and the body stays.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
dope. I love that idea.
See, we're here. That's what we're here
That's
for.
it.
We're here for ideas to do with your giant
To
toys. That you don't have
justify
anything else
more
to do with.
toys. I love it.
Dangerous ideas.
Yeah.
yeah, that was a toy
That
that I
frees
had
up
when I
floor
was a
space.
kid.
We're good.
Like when I was 12, I had a kid that was an airplane that had like a battery powered propeller on it, and you string it up to the roof for the ceiling, and it would just do this in your
Spin
room,
around.
which is
Yeah, yeah.
waiting for a head wound. You know,
I
like
remember
'cause-
that. I too, Jesse.
Those were
I
the
too
best
am
toys, though,
300 years old.
Jesse. The things that could cause a jarts. I mean, come on, jarts were fantastic.
Jarts.
Yeah.
My brother and I really did used to throw those in the general direction of one another out. in
Oh,
my
yeah,
grandparents'
man.
park. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And honestly, like
No one
they
told
weren't
us any
sharp.
different.
Yeah.
They weren't sharp. It
No,
would be like
they
if
weren't
it
sharp.
got right to your eye or something. Is the only
No,
way
but
you
you
would
like
get hurt.
you
by one of those.
hurl them like so they get some serious.
You could
speed.
penetrate a skull with that
Yeah.
at the right height, I think.
Yeah,
Could
you can.
definitely. Yeah.
Trust me.
I guess I'm too young for that. I don't know what the hell you guys.
Yes,
are
you
talking
are.
about.
They're lawn darts.
70s.
Lawn
Okay.
darts that are about
Yeah, lawn
this
darts.
long, like,
That you would literally
a
like
foot long.
hurl across
and it had a
the
long
yard
metal
at the
tip,
opposite team.
and it was a heavy front-weighted thing that would like follow. You know, you would throw it and it would follow the tip, and then you would try to land it in the circle. It was like horseshoes, but like they were these
Yeah.
big darts.
And they were a mix of plastic and metal, and the plastic was like that, you know, like garbage can plastic, you know, like the really hardcore stuff. And then like,
The metal was heavy, though,
giant
right?
metal tip.
Darts was fun,
Yep.
It was a good game.
It was a good game.
Danger.
and then you kind of graduated to horseshoes when you started hanging out with like the grown-ups.
Cornhole.
Cornhole's great.
Less dangerous though.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ryan's a professional cornhole player.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right. Yeah,
yeah.
we were talking about this. Yeah.
Award
Mediocre
winning.
at best.
That's right. Well, maybe you could join the pro jart circuit and see where that's going.
Hopefully. Or just throw them at people. I'm good with
The plan
well,
is to bring them to bring cornhole to Legion's Con, right? And
Mm-hmm.
set
Yep.
up. Yeah.
I got a set of boards. We can make it happen.
Yeah, me too. I was going to bring them last year, but I couldn't fit them in the car, so they didn't make it.
I think Brendan is talking about EnterTech here. Do you remember EnterTech from the 80s? They were like real looking weapons, but they were water guns.
Yeah.
But they were battery powered and made more realistic noises.
Yep.
Stuff's awesome.
Those
made
would go over well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, G. EnterTech. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I messed you up. Yeah. What else? Sorry, we talked about this already, but did want to shout out again that the Cursed Dead reached the funding goal. We'll check in on a little bit later how far that's going, but that's very exciting.
But still back it.
It's happening.
Yeah. Oh, so to my point as to what I was saying earlier, this week I got a giant BBTS pile of loot that showed up at my door that I still haven't opened anything yet. And then today, this showed up in my driveway.
Nice.
The cat's lair showed up.
Whoa.
And
it comes in 2 boxes like that?
It's too big. It has to come in 2 boxes. Yep.
Yeah.
Two boxes.
That is nuts, man.
It's almost to the top of your garage door.
I had like a year and a half to get ready for it. And as I'm sitting here, I don't even know how I'm going to get it in the house.
It's for, I mean, we 3D printed that for Super 7 at Gentle Giant. Well,
did you?
Oh, wow. The one that they showed off when they revealed it at Comic-Con was 3D printed and painted at Gentle Giant. And I remember, like, it's like we got the cat's lair, the head off of the printer, and I held it up, and I'm like, it's bigger than my head. I was like, this thing is going to be massive. And then we had a table set up to kind of start putting the parts together, and we ended up having to put another table like combined with it just to put this thing all together. Like, it's insane. I wish I had space for it.
This was one of those things, though, is that as soon as the idea came out that they might do a Thundercats Ultimates Cat's Lair, I was like, there was no question. I'm getting it. I'll figure it out later. It doesn't matter. And now it's here, and I'm like, what am I going to do with it? I think I'm just going to set a table up like in the middle of the room, in the middle of the basement, and set it up there, and then just figure out the rest later.
I mean, it is really nice. It's so cool. It's just, you got to have space for that.
Adam, I remember coming over to visit you for that. We were working on a project, and you guys were you had set it up in the back, and I thought it was a prop. I thought it was like something that Super 7 was like going to be like, well, we're going to sell some action figures, and then this was going to be like a one-of-one thing that we're bringing.
Yeah.
And you were like, no. I'm like, what?
Yeah, what? No, they're going to sell this thing.
And then I get there to Comic-Con, and like it funded. I'm like, wow, that's cool. That's this whole, ability for companies to like do this. And I told this the other day on a podcast when we were working on Lord of the Rings 20 years ago. I was desperate to make a Balrog. I loved that design. I loved that character, and I wanted to make one in scale with the 6-inch line that Toy Biz was making. And we built a prototype, and we shopped it around, and we were like, well, we think we could probably get it done for like maybe $75. Again, this is 25 years ago, 24 years ago, because it's the second movie. And every retailer, and I mean Target, Walmart, Toys R Us, they're like, nah, we don't want to dedicate that much shelf space to something that big at that price, because we make more money if we buy smaller things and we have a bunch of them. That churn, that productivity of that SKU just works a lot better. And it was heartbreaking. I like, we had actually built like fabric for the wings so they would open and close. But thank God for Randy Falk. Again, thank you, Randy, for actually making a Balrog. Had the crowdsourcing and like direct shipment been invented 20 years ago, things may have been different.
Yep.
Also,
looking for those Balrogs.
Making new Lord of the Rings stuff, like, I challenge anybody to make a new Balrog. I will buy one.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Trevor bought a Balrog recently at Legion's Con, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'll show you that one, Jesse. It's
a
cool.
one of one custom.
Yes,
Adam, I think this must have been the one you guys worked on, because this is the one. This is at PowerCon.
Yeah.
So that's the one you guys.
Yeah, they were. It was really funny because they were asking us. The one we make, because we're located. We're in Gentle Giants in Burbank, and obviously it was originally shown off at San Diego Comic-Con. So we just like drove the prototype, the pan painted 3D printed prototype from Burbank to San Diego. And they were just like, yeah, we got to take this thing to PowerCon. And I was just like, good luck, guys. You're going to need to, like, that's going to be great. Like, it's one thing, like, you've seen all the shipping issues with the production version. And, like, that's, injection molded. So it's like a lot sturdier than a 3D printed, like, fragile resin piece. So it's like that. Packing that thing up and shipping it to Ohio for that reveal, I God bless them. I can't believe that it made it there. They did it. Like, I can only imagine how many different boxes it was in and how much bubble wrap was probably used. It's insane.
And how much on site mending they had to do as well, because that was
that
when we
the FedEx shipping fee was probably ridiculous too.
Yeah. When we would bring prototypes to SDCC like 25 years ago with Toy Biz, like everything was 2 up. Everything was 2 up, and we would have we would get like a little card table in the Marvel booth, and kids would like bump into it, and everything would fall down. And these were 3D jigsaw puzzles, so we like spend all day putting it back together.
Hot glue guns.
Oh my god!
There we go.
Look at that.
Trevor,
what is that made out of? Is that from the Mythic Legion's big gob?
This is the troll. Yeah, this is the troll.
Yeah. I have 2
of
them.
Is that insane?
It's great. I love it.
It's incredible. It's beautiful. Sergio Rosas did this. I passed by it, and right at the end of the show, he kind of honeypotted me into buying it. Sent somebody with it, acting as if they had bought it. And I was all upset that they bought it, and they said, "No, I didn't actually buy it." And I'm like, "All right, I got to buy it now."
That does feel awesome.
Incredible.
Well done. That's a great purchase.
Yeah. Pretty cool here. J-Mac has a question here. Did you get your Motu cookie jar? The answer is obviously yes. So I don't know if anybody else saw this, but Big Bad Toy Store has had a Motu cookie jar on the site for a couple of years now, I think. I think it came out when Revelation first came out. An $80 Castle Grayskull themed cookie jar. But it was on sale for $24. So I threw that bad boy into my pile of loot, J-Mac. I think it was J-Mac maybe who had mentioned in a comment somewhere that it was $24. So I grabbed it. Van says, hit the like button, folks. Yes, please hit the like button. I will grab the giveaway in a couple of minutes so we can get that going here. So Adam, there's so many, I mainly became familiar with you from watching you on some of Wade's streams. I know you're in the Wade crew and stuff. But there's so many things that pop up.
Only when he's not pissed at me.
But you can never tell. Is it real pissed? Is it just, this is just a bit? You know what I mean? But there's so many things that come up that you're like, yeah, we worked on that, blah, 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 blah. Like, I didn't know you guys until you mentioned that like a week or so ago. Like, I didn't know you guys worked on the Cat's Lair. Is there anything else? Like, I'm sure there is, like, maybe like big projects or whatever that people might be surprised to learn you guys work.
You guys were just talking about the wrestling, WWE. We do, since Mattel, we actually helped Mattel pitch for the WWE license back in 2007. I think they got it in 2008. Mm-hmm. And every single Mattel WWE action figure, the basics, the elites, the ultimates, Gentle Giant has worked on, I think, like 99% of them. So we do digital prototyping. We scan for them sometimes, not all the time. A lot of the times we're sculpting the heads just based off of photo reference. And it's funny because everyone still refers to them as head scans. And it's like, nah, that's actually sculpted from scratch, but whatever. But that line as a whole, we've been working on the Marvel Legends line for many, many years. We're only one vendor. There's multiples, but I mean, there's a ton that we've worked on. And that's just it's like, like I'm into action figures. So I always talk about the action figures, but we work on everything. We work on all sorts of stuff. I think the project that Jesse was talking about that he came by Gentle Giant was a marketing thing for the Disney Marvel
Secret Invasion. We did stunt with Secret Invasion, and the studio called me and they were like, hey, do you know anybody that could like take the Skrull look for the movies and like make really great looking masks at a great price? And I'm like, Yeah, there's one company. And honestly, like I have one of these masks. It's so Adam, you got to get closer to the camera. But like we had a bunch of people walking around SDCC with this thing on, because the whole thing was, the secret invasion was, there's scrolls all over the place. We didn't know about it.
It's got on the inside. I don't know if it'll
Oh, a little flexible. That's cool.
But
yeah,
there's
it's cool, man.
and then there's
Nice.
like logo stuff on the inside as well.
Oh, cool.
Can't really see it because it's all blown out. But yeah, we made these in house at Gentle Giant, so we do all sorts of stuff. It's a fun job, but action figures are what I'm passionate about.
So are you mainly just managing projects at this point, Adam?
Yeah, so I started off in the toy industry in 2001. I'm from the East Coast. That's how I know Jesse. But I started off in Hoboken, New Jersey at a small prototyping studio in 2001. And I was working in the mold shop. So I was making silicone molds, resin castings, cleaning those up. I did sculpt some stuff. I actually sculpted a base for a Spider-Man Classics action figure that had a light and a voice chip in it. And the voice was actually done by Jesse, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And it was these two like thugs. One had a ski mask on and the other had a little mohawk, and they were webbed up against like a light post and brick wall. And that was the first
thing.
There's
a note on them that said, "Courtesy of your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man."
Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah. So that's the first thing that I sculpted that was produced professionally. It's awful, guys. Like it's like really, really bad. And one of my coworkers had brought it in like a few years back at Gentle Giant, and I actually have it like sitting like front and center at my door to keep me modest in general, because it is really bad. So I oversee much more talented people than me at this point. So like I go back and forth with the clients, and then I art direct, and yeah, I manage projects at this point, because
it's funny that you say that like that's terrible, because as you're describing it, what's going in through my head is I would literally pay any price for what you're describing.
No, trust me.
Lights, voice, fantastic. Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I did not know you were originally from Jersey. I'm also from Jersey.
I'm originally
Long
Island. Trevor and I discovered that kind of recently, that we actually live pretty close to one another. Well, my parents live there still, but I'm going to New York Toy Fair at the end of this coming month, and hopefully visiting them for a second, and then Trevor and I might go get some coffee.
That's awesome. I had no idea, because you have I'm not an accent specialist, but you sound I mean, I knew from live streams that you were from California, or that you lived in California now. It comes out in the voice. I was like, when you said Jersey, I was like, what? There's no way.
Yeah. I lived in Jersey for quite a few years. I mean, like I've been all over in New York. I lived Manhattan. I lived in the Bronx and Morris Park. But yeah, I moved to California in 2005 to go work at Soda Toys. And then I was there for a little over a year. Jerry Macaluso sold the company, and there was an opening at Gentle Giant, so I hopped over to Gentle Giant.
Yeah, well, listen, Manhattan, Long Island, it's fine. It's fine. Hoboken.
So you've been at Gentle Giant for
Hoboken.
Close to 20 years now?
Yeah. 2005, I moved to California. I worked at Soda. I think my job start date at Gentle Giant was October of 2006. So I'm in my like 19th year.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
This year is my 19th year at Gentle Giant.
Well, I'm assuming this is not the real Gentle Giant. So there's a convention coming up called ZoloCon at the end of February, beginning of March. There is a vendor listed Gentle Giant. Is that the Gentle Giant?
So that might to really confuse matters. So Gentle Giant Studios was owner operated for a really long time, and then in like I think it was like 2017 or so, 3D Systems, which is the largest manufacturer of 3D printers, 3D scanners, they mostly do all of that technology for, you know, government contracts and medical and NASA. They went on kind of like a purchase frenzy and acquired Gentle Giant Studios because we had been using their stuff for entertainment purposes, for, you know, 3D scanning, VFX purposes, and for, you know, recreating stuff as toys, and their 3D printers. So like we were using all their technology for, you know, decades. So we had a good relationship with them, and they wanted to kind of expand their portfolio and have us as their entertainment division. And they actually used our studio as like a big showroom. So like anyone that was like military or NASA or medical, whatever, they would come to Gentle Giant and show off the stuff because everyone loves, you know, Star Wars and Marvel and everything. So it's like it helped them sell the products. They ended up 3D Systems decided to then refocus on just being, you know, like their core competencies. So they sold Gentle Giant Studios back for pennies on the dollar to the previous owner. So he got to keep all the cool stuff. We still have a great relationship with 3D Systems, still use all of their equipment. But when that happened, Gentle Giant Studios decided that it was going to focus on what it has always done best, which is work for hire, where we do prototyping work. You know, like a movie studio will hire us to scan, or a toy studio will hire us to make prototypes for them. We do a lot of fine art. Fine artists will hire us to create their installations. And we had Gentle Giant Ltd, where we were making high-end resin statues and mini busts and licensed items. And it's cool, and we did it, and it was successful, but it also takes a lot of people to do that and to manage all of that. And it was like not necessarily all the creative work we wanted to focus on. So we sold the Gentle Giant Ltd division to Diamond. So Diamond Select owns Gentle Giant Ltd. So that had been really confusing. So like they're not related to us anymore. Like we still do a lot of the prototyping work for that stuff, but it's like a separate company, separate building, owned by Diamond. And then when Diamond just recently declared bankruptcy, every single one of our clients was like, "Are you guys okay? Are you guys?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Gentle Giant Ltd is totally different, guys."
Yep, that's who it is.
It's not us. It's very confusing. I told everyone, like, you know, all the upper management of the company, I'm like, when we sold Gentle Giant Ltd, we should not have, like, the name shouldn't have, like, there should have been something.
Yeah.
Because Gentle Giant Studios and Gentle Giant Ltd, it's like nobody is going to be like, oh, there's a couple letters that are different at the end of it. It's like, nah, that doesn't.
Hey, maybe you guys can buy it back for cheap now that they're bankrupt.
I don't know. I don't know that anyone will be interested in it, but yeah, probably.
Well, if it ever becomes a problem, you need somebody to send a cease and desist. Right here, my day job.
Rob Zamora. Hey, Adam, I think you're my friend worked with you at Gentle Giant. Aaron McNaught. Aaron McNaught not only worked with me at Gentle Giant, he worked with me at Soda Toys also. So, a bunch of guys that worked at Soda Toys all went over to Gentle Giant because Jerry Macaluso had sold the company, and Gentle Giant is a little bit more of an impressive company in general. But yeah, Aaron McNaught, I'm very much friends with him. His wife Chi, who's also a talented painter. They're great, good people.
Super cool. That's awesome. McNaughty by nature, I think, is what his nickname was at Soda, right?
Yeah, for sure. It was actually, I think one of his nicknames was McSnot or Snot. Yeah. Rob Zamora could probably tell you. Probably, I don't know if he still refers to himself as that or not, though.
He should have went with McNaughty by nature, but I don't know. Real quick before we get back to some news and stuff, you've worked on so many different properties, it sounds like, and I know Gentle Giant has done so much stuff, did some Star Wars stuff, all this stuff. Is there any character, property, movie, anything that you're super, super into that you've never had a chance to work on that you would like to work on that you can talk about?
I mean, I have been asked this before, and my go-to answer is, it is very specific. It's classic comic book, highly articulated DC action figures. I have not so we've done a good chunk of DC stuff. we worked for DC Collectibles, but we did their comic book crime syndicate action figures where I got to talk the DC Direct people into doing double joints because like they were not doing double joints back then. And then we worked on some of the Arkham video game stuff for them that had more articulation. But I've really always wanted to work on, like I'm a giant comic book nerd and I'm definitely a Marvel zombie #1, but it's like I'm not one of those where it's like, yo, you gotta choose one. It's like, no, I like comic books and I like good comic books and I like good comic book characters, and Batman being one of them. So I would really love to work on like classic perfect DC stuff. I have tons of 6-inch scale DC action figures, none of which hit that aesthetic that I want them to. Like it's like I own all the Mafex Hush stuff and the newer Nightfall stuff, and I'm buying it and I like it a lot. I think that they're really cool, but they're like they're a little gangly. They're not quite like the proportions I would want, or like the durability. I want a Batman figure that I could put in my pocket and bring with me someplace. And it's like I would be worried about the Mafex figures in my pocket. And like I have the giant shelf of Mezco stuff, and I love the Mezco stuff, but same reason. It's like I want like freaking perfect Batman and Nightwing and Flash and lots of DC stuff.
So that's cool. Well, you could, if you ever get that opportunity, you could make 2 scales, right? You could make a smaller, highly detailed, articulated scale you can take with you, and then you could make like an 18-inch version that you can just put under your computer desk.
Exactly.
You have everything covered.
Like, here's Batman, guys. He's right underneath me.
And I know you're speaking to my buddy Ryan right here is a massive DC head. Ryan, last chance. Do you have any special requests for when Adam gets the DC license? What does he got to do? You're on the spot.
I want a really good Red Hood.
Oh,
I feel like we've gotten Red Hood, but it's like
what in the like? Do you buy any of the Mezco stuff or no?
I do.
Yeah, like why the hell have they not done Red Hood yet? Like it's like I know Mez has like outright said he doesn't like Robin, but he's now done 2 different Robins. It's like Red Hood is a no-brainer for the Mezco line, and it's like I've a couple of points because like I like to customize too. I've like always been into that, so it's like I make expensive customs here and there, and I've been like I'll make a Red Hood myself, and there's tons of parts and third-party stuff that's out there, but I'm like, Mezco's got to make it at some point, and I keep doing that. I keep psyching myself out from making it because I'm like, he's got to do it, and it's like, no, he still hasn't done it. What the hell?
I don't know.
I think it's like it's slow because it's this one line, right? Yeah. And they have all these different
licenses
properties on it. Yeah. So it's like you might get 2 DC figures a year or something. So it's just slow that way.
True.
All right. Well, we got 5 different Batmen too. Well, actually more than that.
A lot more.
Yeah. Oh, way more. Yeah, there's a ton of Batman.
Yeah, I'm like, there's a dozen on the shelf right behind me, I think.
Yeah, I finally saw the McFarlane Christopher Reeve in locally. And it looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool for like $30 figure, but I've already got the Mezco Reeve, which I love. Honestly, between that and the vintage Superpowers Superman, like those are I'm good. Like I've got the Supermans that I need.
The Mezco Christopher Reeve is incredible. That whole thing is beautiful. Awesome.
Yeah, I love that figure. It's on the shelf.
Mezco's a real deal, folks. I'm gonna jump. Great to see you all. Take care. And
Jesse.
Thank you guys for having us.
Bye, Jesse.
Thanks, man.
Get it, man.
Later.
I was just going to ask Jesse how he got into all this nonsense, but
I was literally just about to go, Jesse, same question. Is there anything that you haven't worked on?
Womp, womp, womp.
It took too long to
answer
get
for him. No,
that's all right. All right, Adam, is there one property that Jesse hasn't worked on that he should work on?
It would be some weird shit. Like he's into some wacky stuff. That guy. He wants like Meet the Feebles action figures or something, like something random.
Or maybe just the littles.
Yeah.
What did you have there, Trevor?
Oh, this is the Hellcat Toys Gandalf.
My
variety.
5K order of that still is like just I don't know, sitting, waiting at some point. Like it's not in.
Well,
How do you like
at least
it?
I really like it. It was when I took the head out of it was really all poofy, the hair, but I wet it down. It still needs some like mousse and stuff in there, but like
Oh, you didn't
it's
do
really
the mousse
nice,
yet?
man.
That's just water.
I haven't done the mousse. This is just water. Oh yeah, that's right. You were there the other night when I was
Yeah.
watering the stand.
Yep.
The sculpt is really good. I suspect it's probably a shrunken Asmus sculpt or something, but
How's the
it's
base
pretty
body?
nice. Base body's pretty good. Somebody wrote me the other day and said, "Hey, be careful. My arms wouldn't move back and forth." So I haven't really looked at but mine are fine. I haven't really looked to see what it is underneath here.
Yeah.
Feels pretty solid, except for the upper torso is
I love that you're not looking at it and just feeling it. That's great.
What's it gonna do? It's under cloth. I mean, like, you know,
That thing looks awesome.
it's pretty cool. Yeah, I don't know if it was. I love Lord of the Rings, but I don't know if it was worth what I paid for it because I didn't get in on the pre-order because I thought it was
Rob
going to
Zamora said
be.
again. They ship really fast in Cal, and it's true. Like 5K, like if
Mm.
5K ships something, I usually get
Yeah,
it like
yeah.
the next day. But I don't think 5K. Like I pre-ordered it 5K. I don't think they have it in stock yet. I don't think they've received theirs. Trevor got his from someplace else.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did you read about this anywhere, Trevor? Van says if you just slather a handful of alpha parf on the hair, you should be fine.
Okay. Thanks, Van.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I just said something dirty in like another language.
Yeah. Alpha Parf.
What's up, TJ? So are they doing that? Are they doing like a whole line of Lord of the Rings figures?
Who the hell knows? I mean, it's a third-party thing, so who knows? Somebody else did an Aragorn that was pretty good. Not great, but good.
I missed that
so-
pre-order though. That's not
Yeah,
out yet
me too.
either, though,
No,
right?
it's not out yet. It's not.
Trevor,
out yet.
if you
It's,
find a pre-order for that one, you should DM me on the sly and help me pre-order it as well.
they're
It's
up on AliExpress. I mean, you gotta
Yeah.
pick and choose your your seller and get some good ratings, but you can get them on there.
Highly articulated says you were too bashful to look into his eyes as you were.
Well, there's a little of that too. Yeah, just respect for
Yeah, Sir Ian McKellen.
I'm
That's
sure
right.
they'll continue the line, but they'll be called like Purgatory Lion or something like that. They'll just keep moving along. All right, can I switch gears on you? The Book It program. We're talking about the Mythic Legions book. This is the final weekend to order the new coffee table book for the first 10 years of the Mythic Legions books. This ends tomorrow. Usually they end at Sunday night, right? So it should end tomorrow night, Sunday night.
11 o'clock.
11
something like
o'clock.
that, Eastern. Yeah.
From storehorseman.com, $49.99. It is a pre-order, but it is expected to hit later this year. So order the book or you won't get no hose. And that's, I don't make the rules, but that's what they said. So that's what it is. It is the best price you'll get.
That is the tagline.
Yeah, that is the tagline. So Trevor, you want to talk a little bit about the book here?
No, not at all.
All right. It's been a good show, everybody. Thanks for stopping by.
No,
We
yeah.
appreciate
No,
your
order the book. I don't think
chat.
we're converting anybody in this audience necessarily, but yeah, no, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your grandma.
Share.
Buy an
gonna
extra
be
as a gift to somebody you know is going to be getting into Mythic Legions later, and you're like,
It's,
hey, here's a gift for Christmas.
it's going to be a thick tome, man, as they say. Like, it's going to be big, 360, 70 probably pages at this point. Hardcover book. All the figures through 2024, right? Like, I think Ashes of Agmendor is the last entry in there, but that is the first 10 years. So it's going to be cool. All new pictures. Good Lord, this has been like an entire year of my life. So yes, please order this book.
So has principal photography been closed yet, or are we still working?
There might be a couple things that have to be done, but it's generally wrapped up. There's a little editing to do on some of the images that Jeremy wants to include in there that weren't necessarily set up for print, so they have to be kind of just set up for print, basically. But yeah, I mean, it should be going soon, within like this month, I think, and then I think we'll definitely hit that September or the summer drop for it. So it's gonna be cool. Lots of behind the scenes stuff, stories about the figures that Jeremy's compiled about the making of some of them, or why a name was chosen and things like that, or there's all sorts of fun stories, man. I've been in on some of those things. I won't tell any tales out of school, but like in terms of like naming and reasons for designs and things like that, I've seen some of that behind the scenes. It's fun. It's interesting stuff.
Yeah, and I tell you what, I bet there's plenty of people that are either in the chat right now or will watch us on the replay tonight or tomorrow that have not ordered their book yet. They've been putting it off, waiting for another paycheck to come in, and then maybe they'll let it go again. This is the best price you're going to get, and you'll get it in all likelihood. I don't know this for sure, but my guess is you'll probably get it before anybody else if you pre-order directly from Four Horsemen.
Yeah, you'll definitely get. I think I can guarantee you're going to get it before anybody else gets it. If you order from Four Horsemen. And yeah, I don't know what I think they're going to offer these, I think, to retailers, but not every retailer is going to necessarily go in on it. And I don't know what the markup's going to be for those, if they're getting any kind of retailer price, and they're going to be able to sell them for what. And they're honestly not going to order, a ton more than, is ordered for these things. So,
Now,
maybe SOL by the time Legions Con comes around, which won't be too long after it comes out.
Yeah, I'm already a big fan. I'm a big fan, for example, of the Pixel Dan Motu book. Like, it's a cool thing to just kind of like flip through and look at the history of the characters. But like you said, once Jeremy teased that there would be like little behind the scenes snippets here and there, that's kind of what some of the stuff I'm looking forward to the most.
Yep.
And on the topic of getting more than one, Bill, isn't it correct that you were thinking about, or maybe you already have, getting more than one to rock and one to stock, one to, I guess, to like actively read, you know what I mean? Stuff like that you can make notes on if you wanted to, and one to keep pristine. Do I have that right?
I ordered two. Yeah. So I see one being like on the shelf and keeping it nice. And that might be the one that I just sit and read or whatever. And then the other one I see just being like just leaning on the floor next to my review table for reference, and just having it just be a beater essentially, where I don't care. I'm not going to, I'll have one that I just don't care if it gets beat up, and it'll just be my reference book for pop it and swap it. I just like to have one where I just don't, where I don't care, when I can keep my
one that you really bring into the bathroom with you.
Exactly.
Honestly, if it was smaller, it would be a great bathroom book. I just don't think it. I think it. Probably it would be the perfect bathroom book though if it wasn't big.
Yeah.
Wyatt chimes in with the super chat. What's up, Wyatt? He says, "Bill, don't convince me to army build these books."
Well, if you're going to get two, you really need three to really balance them out, because two isn't really going to.
You need at least three. That's the
rule,
rule,
you keep
right?
one sealed. You have
want to
one,
stack them,
a nice one on your shelf to read, one sealed, one as a beater. Then you need at least two more for friends later on who skipped it, so that you can, gift them as like Christmas gifts later, and they'll be like, "Oh man, I can't believe I missed it." And then you'll have that extra one for them for Christmas, and they'll be so happy that you did.
Yeah, God help you if this comes like sealed in like I don't know if they're gonna like seal it
Cellophane?
in something.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I would think so.
If they do that, then you're definitely gonna need three.
I was gonna say
one sealed in cellophane, right?
So on the Mythic Enablers podcast, Joe Russo, who's a big Knight fan, as we know, and I believe is a not a completist. He collects just what he likes or whatever. The point was, he takes his figures out of the box, out of the package, but he keeps all of the package, even though it's already been opened, and like keeps it cataloged and very nice and everything. So the problem is, I'm assuming now when Joe buys the book, he's going to need one in the cellophane, one out of the cellophane, maybe one in the cardboard box too. Yep. There's a lot of
probably keep the cellophane though too from the one he opened up, and label it as the cellophane from the book and put that away. I'm not honestly not like ragging on Joe, because when he said that, I'm like, "Ooh, that's not a bad idea."
But it sounded like he has it meticulously cataloged. Ragon, you were going to say something, bud?
No, I was gonna say if you're gonna buy that many, you need to get 2 more for bookends to keep everything in place.
That's not
Well,
bad.
yeah. Rob Morris said you need 4, 3 to build a table, and the 4th goes on top of said
Yeah, there you
built table. So there you go.
The
You
coffee
can
table.
build the coffee table book out
Table-
of the
yeah,
coffee
the
table.
coffee table book
books.
that is a coffee table.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're also going to want to have one on your shelf in, like a normal book in, and then you know how like at like a bookstore you'll have one facing out frontwards, so you need an extra one for that.
I could see some cool, like, just a random thought. Like, imagine, like, people are probably going to take pictures with the book opened, right, to like a certain character page, and then you can have like Scapular, like, talking to some other figures, like, pointing at his own picture, like, "Hey, look at this!
Yeah.
It's
You
a
can
picture of
cut
me in a
pages
giant
out,
book."
pop and swap your book. You could do that.
Yes,
We need a
pop it
mini
up.
brands version of this book so our action figures can browse it in
Oh,
scale.
that would be great.
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Who's the guy? Dwayne. Dwayne shoots his
Dwayne
toys.
shoots
or whatever.
toys. Yeah.
He does a lot of like little
Mhm.
mock-ups of stuff like
Mini
that.
books. Yep.
Yeah.
What about the Silver Knight? Anybody getting any of the Silver Knights?
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I know a lot of people who are going in on the 12, man, which shocks me.
Jeremy said it's selling like crazy, the 12 pack.
Some people are buying 12 and then like splitting 6 a piece or something like that. I've never needed like if I get knights, like if I'm going to army build knights, I'll get 3.
I think
I don't need.
this is the first opportunity to get Legion builders for customs with the new Valiant Knight parts. So I think you're going to see customizers just stocking up on these.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that's part of it. Yeah, for sure.
So, and do you guys? I do not remember now. Is the Silver Knight? Is that something that's going to be available later, or this is it? Because I do not remember.
That's a good question.
I think he said this is it, but retailers will have access to it.
Yeah,
retailers will have them.
I remember you
Retailers
saying
will have
that
them.
retailers were going to have it, I think.
Yeah. Retailers will have them, but of course they're going to be, I mean, these are $30. There's no way these are going to be $30 from retailers. They may be closer to 40, maybe the 37. Who knows?
All right. Here we go.
I mean, we'll know in 2 days, right?
Yeah. I
There
guess
you go.
so. That's true.
Monday, I presume the retailers will have them up on Monday.
All right.
Maybe. I don't know.
So
That's how
this
it
was
always
gonna-
rolls. I mean, that's how it.
Yeah, I mean, this is an unusual thing though, because it's just one figure with the book. So I don't know if it's that they're going to wait for something, to come out to pop that out there with other things. I don't know. Who knows what's coming up. Well, I know, but I'm not going to tell you.
But they're going to want to have, they want to have the pre-orders close together, right? Like, so they're probably going to use their same pattern where they give the retailers that extra month, and then that's that pre-order, and then it's done, and then it goes to production, and they know their production numbers, right?
It's possible. I just don't know that, like, because the book was kind of like they weren't sure if A, retailers were going to be interested, or B, if they were even going to do it that way. So I don't know if it's like all ready to go that way. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. It could be. I may be misremembering it, and I already got the email about it. I have no idea.
Right.
But yeah, it's possible. It's definitely going to happen though, fairly soon.
So I was going to do a part before where we start doing this thing called Show Me the Money on the show, where we're talking about a product like this and we actually put our money where our mouth is and put our order in on the show. The problem was I got a little clip of Tom Cruise saying "Show me the money" from Jerry Maguire, and for some reason I can't rip it off YouTube. Like, I'm trying to download it. My little app that I use to do that isn't working. So, but I did just right now pre-order the book, and because you guys enabled me, I threw in a Silver Knight too. So it's your fault.
Nice.
Thank you.
Boom.
Sorry, and you're welcome.
Yeah. Wait. Sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So what was this segment? We were all going to prove that we.
Boom. Enabled.
No, not you guys. No. So that.
Okay.
When we talk about something like that, if it was something that we were going to purchase anyway, like, and I knew I was going to pre-order the book, I'm like, oh, I'll wait to do it on the live stream while Trevor is on. It'll make him happy because I'm buying his book. But
not my book, but yeah.
I mean,
I'm happy that people are buying it though. I think it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be one of those things that people are going to be like sad that they didn't get. You know what I mean? When it comes out. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I do wish it was a little longer for the buy-in for it, but that's all right.
And we've already talked a little bit about Cursed Dead, but for anybody that just that's popped in more recently to the live stream, this Kickstarter is coming to an end, ending soon, meaning today.
4 hours, baby.
February
Yeah,
1st.
4 hours, 4.5 hours, I think.
4.5 hours away.
Just jumped a few $100s while we were sitting here.
Woohoo!
Good job.
Look at that beauty.
This is an amazing photo. Trevor and Adam, do you guys want to just talk about this photo and this character for a minute? I'm going to go grab something. I'll be right back. Everybody else can talk too.
Sure.
Trevor, you talk about it.
So this is the Wendigo, and so I just contacted Adam. I'm like, are you planning on like
having good
prototypes? Wait, did I say that? I tend to say things like that, so maybe I did. I don't know.
You're a shitty photographer, and I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm
Hey,
not a toy photographer.
Hey, Adam, how's it going, man?
toys.
Your photos suck. So no, I'm just kidding. So no, I was wondering if I saw him talking about the prototypes. I saw that he had them, and I loved Dr. Crane and Wendigo. Well, I loved shooting in the snow, so I thought the Wendigo would look really cool in the snow. Actually, Crankle would have been cool too, but anyway, I was lucky to get one shot in with everything I got going on. Unfortunately, I didn't get to Dr. Crane. We'll see. Maybe I can, but I mean, it won't help your campaign, but whatever.
Hey, late pledges, Trevor. It's all good.
There you go, late pledges. There you go. But yeah, so Adam was like, "Yeah, man, I'll send you something." So he sent them to me, and I'm used to prototypes. And Wendigo was great. He came out. Now, Dr. Crane was another story.
Oh yeah,
Dr. Crane was a Dr. Crane is a 2-up. Yep. Yeah. So he's 12 inches basically tall, maybe even taller. And needed some work, the kind of work I usually do on a prototype for Mythic Legion. So it was trickier to get to, whereas Wendigo is kind of all glued together and ready to go. Just had to pop his head on and stuff. So I had a few minutes, broke everything down. Just got this Dio from Lawless Studios a couple weeks ago, which is great. Saves me from setting up a lot of snow shots now. And I just wanted to put him by a fire, man, like out in the night, like a really creepy. I don't know if people notice the boots that are on the ground behind the fireplace or behind him, but he's got that arm, which technically I guess is supposed to be. Is that supposed to be somebody else's arm or his arm? I don't know. I know he eats his own flesh.
No, that's supposed to be someone else's that he's
okay. The victim,
snack or it's a weapon. Yeah.
Right. So, and I couldn't decide whether to take the shot with the skull on, which I love, and those eyes, and those. I mean, I enhanced it just a little bit, but they really do like glow from the lights that I had on there. It was pretty cool. But lining it up to get those eyes peering out, I really want to do that. And then I had to take one with it off because he just looks really cool with it off too. Just all, flesh eaten away from his teeth and all that stuff. It's creepy as hell. So wanted to get all that in there and just create like a real creepy postery thing. So it was fun. It was fun to do. Fun to shoot. And they're gonna be great. I say this all the time. Like he was fine. Like he stood up well. Everything was pretty good. But I really can't wait to get an articulated version of him in hand. For sure. I say this about all the Mythic Legions that I get, that I can't really move or they fall apart on me. I'm like, man, I hate this thing, but I can't wait to get it in hand production wise, because it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be a lot of fun to play with. So yeah, these are going to fit right in with like Legions. If you got Legion vampires, the drinkers will fit in with those. I think they're going to be, they stand a little taller, but it's supposed to be a monster. So I like that aspect of it. So.
And you did a variant of this shot too. You did helmet off and on.
Yeah, because I couldn't decide which, because the helmet looks creepy, but there's so much great detail on the face. I'm like, I really want to get it with the helmet off of it too. But I wanted to keep the helmet in there just in case you didn't want to use both of them and show all the accessories, which is my want.
Looked badass. And I think you repositioned how he was holding the arm too.
Yeah, I flipped the hand just because in this one, I think this was the first one I took, and I'm like, are people going to know what that is? But so I flipped it around to get the hand in there just to show more stuff. But I think people missed the feet in the background. So yeah.
I credit you for us funding. You did it for us. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Nice work, Trev.
Yeah.
Nice work, Unc. Well done. No, but this shot is so incredibly badass, so creepy, so scary, and like sort of, I do think a photo like this takes the figure up to another level. So it takes something that's already creepy and cool and ratchets it up like 20 levels, I think. So
yeah, there were, I mean, other people took pictures and they were really cool. I mean, Cheney did some great work for you guys with all of them. Like he took like almost all of them, right? Like at least close-ups.
He shot,
of the,
I think, all 9 of the figures, and then
Rick
Art with Toys shot a couple for me as
Yep.
well.
Of the drinker, that was cool.
Yeah.
It's nice, man. I like seeing like people come together like that, and you know, helping out with stuff like that. I mean, I was when Wade was doing his, I was going to ask him, but the way he was talking about how, on his show all the time, how that thing would just fall apart in his hands.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't think he really wants to send that across the country, and because it was very precious to him. I know that. So like, it's pretty
like
sure you're in the toy biz. You're like, yeah, go ahead, break it, whatever. We got more.
Well, we did it like right before I handed off some of the prototypes. I brought them to Frank and Sons to let people see them in person, and I brought a whole glue kit with me because so many people were like picking them up to take pictures and stuff, and I'm like, these are like fragile we had breaks and everything, but luckily, since I do this for a living, I was able to repair them on the spot. Like,
yeah, it's just the nature of the beast. It's what happens. So
awesome. All right, so is this the and I threw this photo, and this is just 2 of like the sort of like the characters that I hear people talking about the most here.
Oh yeah, Gordy
is great too.
That picture is from Punker Mike, actually.
That's nice.
He also painted that prototype.
Oh, that's right.
Cool.
That axe is something that we're also like, we're gonna do hopefully accessory packs, like either heads or accessories, all sorts of different things, maybe some themed, some just weapons in general. And that axe actually, because Gordy is a 2-up, so, and Phil sculpted that traditionally, so I have to figure out how to actually shrink that down and make it. So that's why it didn't appear in the original Kickstarter campaign, but you will likely have that at some point in the future.
Gotcha.
Cloud says they did a pre-order for a drinker through BBTS. You know, that was massive. You know, when the BBTS relationship pops up, because it gives people another option. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that are interested.
BBTS is great. They're obviously huge supporters of independent toy lines in general. And it's great. So cool. And I've used them for 25 years. Like they're an awesome website, super cool people, and yeah, it's like I mean, like I was impressed by like when they put them up. And they put them up at their prices, and I was like, "Whoa, those are high!" Like even to me, like I'm like, "That's." Woo. And then like we obviously we offer them wholesale pricing, so that's like a good. It's a lot less than the actual listed price, and then they add on their markup as well, and it's like, whoo. I was like, is anyone going to order them? But apparently people did. People like that, Big Bad Toy Store doesn't charge until they ship.
Right.
And, like it's also like I do Pile of Loot, we were talking about it earlier, but it's like you ship out like 3 or 4 times a year and it's $4.99. It's like there's lots of benefits to doing it through Big Bad Toy Store. So yeah, and it all helps. It's great.
And also Sezzle now. So you can do payment installments. Which is even better.
Cool. And you guys have to be already thinking about developing, maybe further than that, new things, since now what now becomes wave 1 is successful and is going to happen. What about, obviously I'm presuming there's going to be additional waves of various kinds of figures. What about other things? What about play sets, dioramas, creature, like different kinds of creatures?
Yeah, Phil's already developed 2 additional bodies beyond the drinker base body. He has the and we've teased it previously. There's a werewolf and a character he calls Pig that he developed on our next body, which is like a buffer, like it's like a Thor Hercules size body, so it's a lot thicker than this one. And then he developed one that's like more like a Hulk size body, which would be like, we have some interesting thoughts on how we want to do like our version of Frankenstein and stuff. So yeah, we have lots of plans. There's additional figures off of this first space body that we're hoping to make at some point and not have to do it as a Kickstarter, since we've already, we'll have paid for the tooling for this body. So we definitely have tons of plans, and thank you to everyone for the opportunity to be able to be making this stuff. And we definitely have a lot more just ready to go. The big thing is going to be manufacturing and delivering these. I want to get them into people's hands so that way they can see the quality that we're aiming for firsthand. And I think that will help a lot with moving forward and people really wanting to get in on this line, because we're aiming to give people highly articulated, high quality action figures. So that's the next step.
All right, and with that in mind, let me pull this down real quick. I want to get the giveaway rolling here. So I took a look at the giveaway possibilities. I wanted to do something good and something that I thought somewhat at least fit the theme. So I picked a Mythic Legions figure, and the giveaway we're going to do today is a Mythic Legions Scaphoid, a creepy, toxic skeleton. For my money, one of the best figures in the line.
I agree.
Hopefully not. One of the last Scaphoids in my collection, actually. So we're going to give him away today. And the hashtag, you know how this works, guys. Hashtag cursed dead.
Cursed
Dead.
Or go back, cursed dead.
Depends on if you want to sound like you're English or not.
Did you have any discussion as to whether you were going to pronounce it cursed or cursed?
It was always cursed, as far as I know.
Okay.
Sorry. Do you want it to be cursed? For you?
No, it's a little more highbrow, but that's okay.
Yeah, it feels more English. Cursed dead.
It doesn't roll.
Cursed
I'll
dead.
say this: cursed dead doesn't roll off the tongue.
Not like cursed dead.
Cursed is fine, but when you put dead after it, it doesn't sound right to me.
Because you have to. It's a double D. You got to say, because you don't even have to say the first.
We
D,
like
and when
some
you say
double
cursed
D's,
dead,
but not in this version.
cursed dead.
I tell you what, that's why.
dead.
Cursed.
Yeah,
Cursed
exactly.
dead. Cursed dead. I don't.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm my own man.
You got to double the D's too much.
I'm going cursed. Going cursed guy. What can I tell you? But hashtag cursed dead. If you pronounce it cursed, you're not eligible. You're not eligible for giveaway. Just kidding. Cursed
Type it
dead. We're
correctly.
celebrating this today. Scaphoid giveaway.
Trevor, you're not. You should not be eligible for this.
No. Guests.
What?
Guests are eligible. Although Trevor is like kind of a guest. Like he's on all the time. He's basically a part of SDL.
Adam, it's just so if I win, I'm just going to be magnanimous and shit, and like say no, I'll give it to somebody else. That's just
Make him spin it. Make him do the work of spinning it again.
Here.
No, then I
Look
just
at what a good person I am.
right.
Yeah.
It's PR, man. Come on.
I'm the bad bitch.
That's right. I'm a bad bitch. I'm gonna keep it.
Yes, and please do hit the like button, guys. Hashtag cursed dead for the Scaphoid giveaway. Again, if you're in the lower 48, I'll take care of shipping. If you're outside of the lower 48, we'll just we'll get together. We'll figure it out one way or another. We'll see what Pirate Ship can do for us. So next up, Bill. Recently, you've been doing a series of videos on your channel, topical kinds of videos, talking about different concepts that sort of came up. And this one was just from last week. Really great video. Check it out. I'm assuming everybody that's in the chat right now is already subscribed to the Dork Lair YouTube channel. If you're not right now, go subscribe to it. Great video that I think was inspired by a comment you got either on one of your videos or somewhere else, where it was a new Legions collector wondering, okay, what are some recommendations for figures I sort of need to buy? And there's some like different kinds of interpretations you can have of that. But let me just tell you your thought process in coming up with your recommendations in this video.
So basically the idea is not to share which ones I think are the best, right? Like I could have my list and be like, if I were going to go out and refresh my collection and start from scratch, what would I do? And it might look a little different from this, but I was trying to get inside the head of a brand new collector. And like from my perspective, customizing and popping and swapping are like a main thing. Like that's kind of like my main goal. But for somebody who's new, that might not be it. So like the characters and the lore and the stuff where it's like, okay, you want like important characters and you want a good mixture of the variety of scales and just trying to like have it be like it says here, almost like a starter set. And then that was like how I made my list. And like my number one was the Gorgo Attila 2-pack, which really has been for the last 2 years. I don't even remember how long it's been out, but like that set to me is like it's like the starter set, because first of all, that set is currently, you can still get it for $100, like shipped on eBay. I don't know, maybe if my video sold a few more and maybe they dried up.
I just sold one to somebody that I had. Yeah.
Did you? Yeah, like
yeah. Somebody asked me because I had mentioned it a while ago that I had them, and they're like, "Hey, I just saw the video." Yeah.
So like the fact that
I have
you
more.
can still get that for $100, and then on top of it, you get pretty much two of the biggest named characters in the entire storyline. You get the cloth goods, you get some new sculpture, some unique sculpture, you get the night body, you get like, you just like get this all around package. Like, and that was kind of the spirit of it. Like that set really kind of like captures what that video was all about.
Yep.
So I can't see. Is that about $100? Those ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 98, 99 plus shipping or free shipping.
Yeah. I mean, that's a no-brainer. Yep. If you don't have any Mythic Legions, this is start right there. It's all a great set.
I cannot believe this hasn't gone up in value, but I don't know. There seems to be a lot of them out there for some reason. I don't know why, but
they must have made a ton, which is good, because this is like, of all the things to have, like the entry point, it's like always having a He-Man available.
Yeah, you got a major hero, you got a major
always
villain,
having a Luke Skywalker available. Yeah.
Yep. Tons of parts, like you said, for $50 a piece, basically. Yep. I think mine's up there for 150. So, no, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's the retail price, because that's how much Big Bad has them or had them for. Yeah. It was 150. Yeah. The 100 was the direct Kickstarter.
Yes,
I forget
it was
if it was
$100
the Kickstarter or the direct one, but
yep. And I think Monday on Legion's Lounge we're going to be doing something along those lines. We haven't quite decided what we're doing, but we may pile on that a little bit, or we may do a little side thing to that best five.
And
top
like
five,
you said, I've already done my list, but I can come up with more that I would.
Yeah.
My 6 through 10 or whatever.
Yeah, 10 might be a little bit much. Maybe if it's just the three of us, we could do 10.
Well, I'm saying my 1 through 5 for us would be my 6.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Could be different. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Curtis chimes in, says that Bill's video inspired his cosmic play date with Jeff earlier. So Curtis did a live stream with Jeff Evans, the cosmic guy, earlier today, talking about like, what do you need to buy from Cosmic, or what would be the first couple of figures if you're just getting into Cosmic Legions. I know when I thought it was a very interesting topic, and kind of the way I sort of looked at it was, if you're a new collector, right, kind of going off that comment, and you're just looking to get into Legions, and it's a little bit intimidating, the number of figures that are out there, and if you go back in time, how expensive it could be, this is a wonderful time to be just getting into it. Because, for a long time, this wasn't the case. But now on storehorseman.com, you can just go there and buy a bunch of different figures from the Horseman at direct prices. And that includes stuff like Legion builders that are like $26. So you have a chance to basically get in, order directly from the Horseman, and get yourself a vampire. You can get yourself a knight, and they're all like $26. You can get yourself Swig, who Bill mentions in his video, So you can get like a goblin character, and you can get, soft goods and a cool, cool accessories and all this stuff. $37 for like not a huge investment, and start to get some experience with these figures. You can go cosmic and get the heavy gunner for $37. Yeah, that's right where my mind went right away, is that, wow, all they need to do is just go to storehorseman.com, and there's an incredible selection with the best prices you're going to get. And you can get a couple of these Legion builders for like $26 to $37 each. For $26 for the Legion builders, $37 for the named characters. You can also get yourself a heads pack.
Yeah.
For $30 and start experiencing some of that, popping and swapping and creativity that's a part of the line too. So
get the heads pack. Top left, get a purple knight for the vampire. Top middle, get the armory. Get the armory gunmetal knight for the cat, and then get the armory red for the demon.
Cool.
Okay, I don't know how accurate this is, Adam, but in terms of a prototype, but take a look at this. Can you zoom in on me?
Oh man,
that ball joint fits perfectly on this. Did you?
Wow, that's crazy. No, I like honestly, because
I mean, it popped on like pop, like
yeah, we
like
popped
nicely.
on we dremeled out one of our skull heads to fit on one of the Mythic Legion's skeleton bodies. But yeah, it's like
that's sitting on there nice and tight.
Yeah.
It's nice. So like it fit, I mean, these some of these are going to be a little bit bigger. I don't mean to go back to this, but I'm just thinking about heads pack, and I was like, oh shit, man, that could kind of work. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I love customizing, so I would love to get it as close as possible. The Four Horsemen neck balls tend to be pretty big.
Yes.
So
yeah.
There might need to be some heat and or dremeling, but yeah, like, come on.
By
like,
the time the finals come out, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys thought about doing like almost not a test shop per se, but just like an unpainted version for people to kind of customize?
Like it's like something people have asked for, and I'm not opposed to the idea. The main thing is like it would be another minimum order quantity, kind of like like another SKU to develop with another minimum order quantity, and it's like I'm already getting enough flack about pricing, so
yeah, maybe not this round, but maybe next round once you've got these molds or something, you could do something like that on the next.
Exactly, it's something that can be on the table for the future, where it's like that's easy. Like, but right now it's tooling and then 9 figures being produced, 10 figures at least, because we're gonna do the damn mangler, because god damn it, I need that. So yeah, it's we gotta cross that bridge, and then I would love to do like artist proof, like I love customizing, I have my own Instagram customizing account, and I make expensive customs, so I encourage people to customize, but yeah, it's definitely not off the table for the future.
Okay. I'm sorry, going back, John, to your to the discussion about the Bill's video. I think I saw Mark and Greg, Saturday Morning Toy Collector, did kind of the same thing this morning. They went through their top 5 if you wanted to start getting into it, like what they would collect. It's pretty cool.
And there's different ways to look at it too, right? There's okay, you need these 5 figures. These are the 5 most important figures in the line. Or I think Bill sort of looked at it a little bit more like this, like, what would be a good 5 figures that would be a good representation of the different things that are available sort of in the Mythic Legions line? Or you can look at it the way I looked at it. It's like, if you're just starting out, what's a good way to get a taste of what the line is all about without making a massive financial commitment to it? So it's cool. Rygun, did you have a thoughts on essential legions for the new collector?
I did not. For me, it would have been a mix of both. I would have went like key characters too, but it's also pop and swap ability. I do a little bit of that, but I like to have variety. So probably 1.0 and then some 2.0s. I don't hate the 2.0s. I know a lot of people are kind of iffy on the 2.0 body.
I love 2.0s.
Yeah, Trevor's a big 2.0 hater.
I love 2.0s. Shut up.
I'm just kidding. But I mean, it's going to happen anyway. If the cursed dead bodies fit Mythic Legion's heads, holy shit.
Because I don't think it's going to be universal, but the snake happens too. I don't know why.
But I mean, the direction I'm going is that once you loop in like the customizing community, which is not a massive community, like it's a smaller community, but still, once you've got them in, 3D heads, we put them on the peg and they're attached with blue tack anyway, right? So it doesn't have to be perfect,
Right.
But then you've got people that, okay, well, I need 10 of that body now. You know what I mean? Just to have, so I can like customs with it. And I do think the cursed dead bodies lend themselves to that. I do think those figures lend themselves to, adding in a little bit of your own creativity to it. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, they got some cool just details, in the legs and things like that. That you could really bring out in different ways, which I'm sure was intentional, Adam, right?
Phil is the actual designer, but yeah, he obviously he wanted this, he had a plan when he was actually doing this. Yeah,
it's cool.
All right. And then, Bill, you had a follow-up video that just hit earlier today. A day early for the Dorklayer fans. So what happens now? I haven't even had a chance to look at it to watch your video yet. What can you tell us about this new video you have?
This one is different. This one, it was just me talking to the camera, and I just wanted to share my thoughts about the current situation where, Jeremy has even said that their production runs are kind of dropping. They're going down a little bit. Like, we're out of that era where the pandemic crazy buying is over and like those massive production runs with tons of overstock. That era is pretty much over. People are pre-ordering less. I think the idea in the video is like they were so used to seeing stuff just hit retail and just be readily available at conventions, online, even for like less than retail and stuff. So they just stopped pre-ordering as much, and people are just tired out and worn out, and there's just just too many toys. And so the cycle continues where now things are scaling back, and you're at the point where it's going to catch some people off guard that didn't pre-order, right? Like, if everybody stops pre-ordering, then there's going to be fewer things available and more people who need it at the drop at the time when it releases. And it was just kind of about that, and just people to be ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say, taking my own personal experience, because I live in New Jersey, I did sort of get into that mode a little bit of, well, I live in Jersey, so if there's anything I don't pick up on the initial pre-order, I have the luxury. I can go and I will be at a number of local toy shows that the Four Horsemen will be at. So I'll be able to get pretty much any or most any of these figures that are coming out at show prices, which were like a couple dollars off of the pre-order price. It's basically the same, and no shipping because I'm walking out with it. Those days are done pretty much, because not just because of the lower factory runs, but now the pricing it shows is going to be a little bit closer. We'll see. It'll be figure to figure, wave to wave, might be a little bit different, but it's going to be more than the direct pre-order price. So it's just that has to go into the analysis as to how you handle it.
I've already seen some of the hobbyist resellers complaining about that. There's been a few people who commented saying, this is the worst thing the Horsemen could ever have done to drop the prices. I'm pretty much done collecting Legions because I used to go to the shows to buy the figures for cheap. Now, I know for a fact that these guys that are complaining are the ones who would go to those shows, buy them for cheap and flip them. Like, they're just the flippers. But the idea now is going to be that these figures are going to be, they're going to be more and more sold out at retail. So the only place to get them is going to be at these conventions. So you're going to be seeing these things online for 60, 70, 80. They're going to be like above retail prices on eBay.
Yeah, the aftermarket's going
And
to
so
be high again.
then you go to the show and like the appeal isn't going to be, oh, I can get them for like less than the retail price. The appeal is I can just get the figures. Like I can get them. Like they're not, right? We're going to go back to that time where everything wasn't just readily available everywhere in abundance. You know, there's going to be some limited nature to this. So, you know, if you really, really want a figure, just pre-order it. And if not, be okay with the possibility that you're not going to have it. It's going to be the same exact people complaining that they can't get the figures who are complaining about pre-orders and stuff. The pre-orders take forever, right? And then they're complaining about that thing. And then when they have the opportunity to get them at retail, they're going to be complaining about that too. They're just going to complain about everything.
Yeah. It goes back to what I said before, the complaining whiny baby quotient.
Yeah.
You've got to account for it. It comes into the analysis.
Yeah. So that video, it was fun to make. It was, I want to do more of those where I just come up with an idea and I talk to the camera, and it's pretty low, like complexity type thing, because I don't have to do a ton of editing. And so that's why I dropped it a day early, because maybe I can get a second one in midweek or something this time.
Well, and it's good for me, right? That's what we're really concerned about, because I'm like, all right, well, what do we feel like talking about on the show this week? Let's see. What's the latest video that Bill put up, and see what topic we're talking about here. But yeah, I think I love those videos. I think they're really cool. They always spark a lot of discussion. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
So good stuff. All right. Want to give away a scaphoid? Let's give away a scaphoid.
Do it.
All right. Last chance, guys. Again, this is a big thank you to everybody who hangs out with us on Saturday afternoon as we talk about some toys here. This is your last chance to win the scaphoid. Hashtag cursed dead. Hashtag cursed dead. This is your last chance to get in on today's giveaway. 33 entries. Really good odds.
I believe that's cursed dead, John.
Thank you, Trevor. Thank you. Actually, it was really good odds. I just saw that Kevin McCoy put in an entry.
And
So
Tanya. They're both here.
Oh, gosh. I forget about it. Forget about it. But there we go. We'll give this one away in 3, 2, 1.5. Go.
Cursed dead.
Hope you typed it with an English accent, please.
Cursed dead.
Cursed dead.
Cursed
dead.
Oh,
G-Mac in the house.
Twice.
I think that's his second win today. Didn't he win earlier today on something? I just saw his name pop up.
People, listen, G has good karma.
Yes.
G.
You know what I mean? Like, that dude's got to have congratulations, G, my friend.
Congrats, dude.
Hit me up. I don't want to send this to you. Let's meet up, bro. Let's meet up. My good buddy G in the house. Is he still here? I don't know. Congratulations, G. Happy you won the scaphoid. I can hand deliver this to you, actually. So yeah. So that's cool.
Very cool.
So
There he is.
Trevor, as always, thank you for hanging out with us. You know,
Thanks
the
for having me.
door's
Appreciate it.
The door's always open.
I
So
would be. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so we have Purple Gang Gang tonight, 9:00 on the Purple Gang Gang YouTube channel.
Mhm.
Are you actually going to be on the show, or do we just have
No.
to tune in to find out?
No, I won't be there.
Okay. All right.
I won't be caught dead on that show.
So, all right. So tune in for Trevor Williams tonight on the Purple Gang Gang show. One way or
I'll
the
be
other.
there. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, sometimes you're not quite sure, because then you turn into Purple Gang Gang and you're like, what am I watching? I'm like, is that a person? I can't tell.
A Hardy Cranky Van.
Bill, what do you, anything else coming up that we need to know about?
No, just we'll be doing the lounge
Live.
Monday night.
Yep.
Lounge Monday
night.
Do you have a Dork Lair live on Thursday too?
Yes, I don't have. It'll just be like a regular toy news night. Yeah.
All right, cool. Adam, dude, thank you so much for stopping in, man. So happy to get a chance to talk to you a little bit. Big fan. Congratulations again, man, on the The Cursed Did. Happy to see it's actually happening. And real quick before we go, SDL exclusive. This guy, I'm very excited.
He's happening.
He's
And there is, you can add him on at the $40 basic price point right now. There's if you go into the Kickstarter campaign and check out our most recent update, the update explains how to manage your pet pledge and actually add on. So I suggest if you do want it, do it now, because you can lock in that $40 basic price. Afterwards, it's going to be available as a late pledge, and like I said, it's a few dollars more. So if you want to just lock it in now, go for it. We're gonna make this guy. It's gonna happen. I mean, I'm willing to bet my something important to me on it.
So it's just
It's a giant man.
there's no picture. It's just stretch goal number 1, right?
It is. It's just stretch goal number 1. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I'm adding it right now.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, Bill.
For it.
Oh, hell yeah. We doing a little show me the money?
I can't not get that figure.
Doing it live.
Here we go.
I don't see
now.
him.
Show me the money, right?
I actually,
right now.
Just so you know, I actually did, or like I had Diggs Figs is hooking me up with the crazy, I think it's crazy figure female body. And so I ordered a figure as well. I PayPal'd him during the show for a figure as well. So show me the money. I was part of that segment as well for a female naked action figure.
Here we go.
I also added the pin. I gotta have that pin.
Yeah, those are limited. I actually I have those made, or they'll ship with.
I don't see any of those. I don't see any of that stuff on my. What's going on?
Go into the updates, and
I'm in manage my pledge. No.
Okay. So when you're in manage your pledge, now you need to change your reward. Like you don't have to change your reward, but reselect your reward, and after you do that, then you get the add-on menu.
Oh man.
Okay.
All right.
So you reselect your reward or leave it as is, and then you go to the add-on.
There it is. Okay, so you actually have to click on what you've already.
You have to click things. Yeah, click them. Click it,
yeah,
Trevor.
I understand that. It's just a weird thing. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I like that pin. The pin's cool.
Oh, no. I'm just clicking everything.
Yeah, we don't have to do this live.
I already started.
I have to
make me
pee
stop now.
so bad too.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No,
Right,
it's okay. It's like Kegels or something. Like it's some kind of exercise. Right? Kegels. What? Yeah, there you go. I don't know anything about that.
Here we go. All right. 2 payment. All right.
Boom. Enabled.
All right. There we go.
Indeed.
He's stretch goal number 1, right?
Yes.
Wrangler. All right. Cool. All right.
Let
Thanks
Adam
again,
pee.
Adam.
Thank you for having me. And thank you to everyone that supported. Like honestly, it's all about the toy community, and much appreciated. And I promise I will not let you guys down.
Are you doing anything else for the stretch run for the rest of the night?
I'm gonna go pee and hang out with my kid for a little bit, and then we're jumping on Unparalleled Universe to just right over I think at like 4:45 Pacific, until 6:05 p.m. Pacific when the campaign ends. We're just gonna close it out over there, and then I'm never gonna do streaming ever again. No, I'm gonna take like a couple days off so I can perhaps spend some time with my family. But then you'll see me all over the internet again, I'm sure.
Well, glad we could push you over the edge, but I was very excited about this Kickstarter. So glad we got a chance to support it a little bit. Do hope we get a chance to speak to you again sometime way in the future. Thank you to everybody who stopped in during the live stream today. And thank you so much to everybody who checks us out on the replay. I'm always pretty astounded at how many people watch this later on. So thank you. But until next time, I got to say, don't forget the number 1 rule, which is
be cool.
Later, guys.